Hello my beautiful souls and welcome to my tarot card reading. If you are new here, my name is Jem, and in today's pick card reading we're going to be discussing what do people assume based off of your looks. So, in pick card reading you could choose whatever pile catches your eye. As long as you take what resonates and leave the rest, know that you have your own free will. You can decide, make your own decisions. It's about trusting yourself. So the way that I read tarot is about self-reflection. It is a way of showing you different options you have. And it's also about hyping you guys up because you deserve to feel like you could conquer the world. So, another thing is the biggest way you could help me and my channel is by subscribing, giving the video a like, and of course checking out my Beacon AI tab if you're interested in your own personal readings or t-shirts that have little quotes on them that are ways of mirroring this idea and mirroring love to others that are around you, and hyping them up and hyping you as well in return. So that is what I have, and obviously 18 plus extended. We're not gonna have an 18 plus extended for today's reading, but in the future ones, you know, every Monday I think I'm gonna release an 18 plus extended. So yeah. Okay, let's hop into the pile selection. So the first one we have here is the Wheel of Fortune card for pile 1. It is of a really adorable fluffy cat with the Wheel of Fortune behind the kitty and these beautiful clouds. They kind of look like smoke or like gum, but there's these clouds, and then there's like this bowl of cereal right next to her or them. And let's read what that means, what personality type. This card is supposed to represent, all these cards are representing your personality type for each pile. So let me know if this resonates, and if it does, pick this pile. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune personality type is spontaneous, somebody who's in the flow. They're very flexible, they're very open to change. This person has faith in the universe, believes in luck, faith, and destiny. This person may also be a gambler, maybe ready to take some risks and try their luck. So if that resonates to you at all, please pick pile 1. For pile 2, we have this cute little kitty that's getting squished by this barbell or this weight. And there's behind them like this, it looks like a mountainous, also has like a beach like background. So it's giving me like Arizona vibes, but also like beachy. So I'm not really sure where, but then you see on the floor it's like these gym mats. So there could be something about you being athletic, there could be something about maybe stepping into going to the gym, working out, working and dabbling into taking care of your physical health. And it's also just giving me mountainous, maybe like California, maybe like Utah, Colorado, that big like Great Canyon in the US. So if that resonates, please pick pile 2. Let me see what the Strength card represents. This is the Leo. This card represents Leo, I believe. So let's read what Strength card represents. Personality type of the Strength card is somebody who has immense inner fortitude and courage. She is cool, calm, and collected, even in the face of adversity and opposition. She's like a swan. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. I've already pre-shuffled all the cards off to the side, and pile 2 got the swan card. That's really freaking crazy. Okay. So if swans are significant to you, definitely pick pile 2. But that's crazy. She's like a swan, gracious, elegant on the surface, with the little feet paddling madly underneath. Strength approaches any obstacle or setback with a calm but strong demeanor and can gently persuade even the most difficult of people to come around to her way of thinking. Beautiful. And your image, oh my god, I forgot to talk about the images. I'll talk about the images in the beginning of the readings. And if that image catches your eye, please pick pile 2. For pile 3, we have the Empress card. So the card right here is of this cute cute kitty sitting on her throne with a crown, and it's like representing the empress. So she's very abundant. She's got her, you know, her weeds in front of her, her wheat, um, her crops, her abundance all around her. She's thriving, and she's relaxing. She's chilling. And we have a bunch of like wind and clouds behind her. So the Empress card personality type is somebody who's a highly sensory person who appreciates the beauty of simple things in her life. Her environment is beautifully decorated. She wears a flowy dress with floral prints, and she is at home with nature and attuned with the natural cycle of the earth, such as the seasons and the moon. The nurturer at heart, the Empress personality loves to mother and care for others. She is the friend who always is there to listen to you confess your most innermost self and give you a loving hug to reassure you that everything will be okay. Wow, that's crazy because I subconsciously chose this ring, which is like a hug. So you could be like a hugger, like a really nice. You may give like the best hugs, pile three. So that could be something. If that resonates with you, please pick pile three. Okay, let's hop into the readings. Hello, my beautiful pile ones. If you chose this image, this will be your reading on what do people assume based off of your looks. So let me adjust this camera real quick. Get a little bit higher so we have a little bit more space to work with. Okay, now let's lay out these cards here. So we got the vision. Underneath that, oh no, the swan was for pile one. Interesting. Okay. Well, I just gaslit everybody. Oops, sorry. Okay, so then we got this sailor. But it's still crazy that that came out, okay? We got the sailor. We got the... I accidentally flipped all these cards upside down, so... Interesting. I'm just gonna take it, I guess, the way it is now. And I will read both sides of the spectrum. Because, it could be significant for you guys, so. Okay, Queen of Cups. And the handshake. Okay, so let's talk about your image first, pile one. So pile one, you have this beautiful, stunning woman here. She's got these really cute bangs. She's got pretty blonde, light blonde hair. She's wearing like this really cute pink crop top, or it looks like to be a corset, and it's really pushing up her chest. She has a beautiful chest. The tips of the corset are like sharp, and it's got this beautiful outline of like lace on the corners. She's got this silver necklace and a choker on with these dangly earrings. She's also got this pink cute little hoodie covering her shoulders with her shoulder exposed. She's got these beautiful luscious lips, small little nose, blue eyes, long lashes, and she has like this pinkish eyeshadow. Her eyebrows are also like a lot darker than her natural hair, and it looks a little bit more to the warmer side. So if that resonates with you at all, then stay tuned. So another thing too, so let's get some messages from your image. So with your image here, what people could be assuming off of your looks is that I really wanted to say, because of what the cards came out, looking like this. This says new influences. So I immediately thought like influencer. People may assume that you're like an influencer just off the bat. People could assume that you are. I also wanted to say like that everybody wants you, that everybody is interested in you. People assume that you take really good care of your skin and your hair. People also love like the outfits you wear. Like you wear like the cutest outfits, and it really makes you stand out. Um, People also assume that you could have like money. I'm getting like that you have money. Um, People can assume or people assume that, especially because of like the way that you may take care of your hair, and like listen, nowadays getting your hair done is not cheap. So people like may notice like that your hair is always looking like on point, really nice, and they're like, wow, she must pay a lot of money to get that hair, looking so beautiful as it does. You could also like have your lashes done or just like your nails done, all those different things, and that shit costs money. So people definitely, I saw 444. People definitely think that you're very financially stable. Um, so that's what I'm getting with the image. But let's hop into the cards now. Wow. Okay, pile one. So I read your cards, and there's a couple cards that I want to clarify, and then there's a couple cards that are like so obviously understandable. Like this row right here is blatantly obvious because it says the same thing twice basically in both of these cards, which is kind of crazy. So, let's talk about it. That reminded me of a mythical, what is it? Good Mythical Morning. So, pile one. I think you are a very hardworking individual. I think not only that though, you are somebody who is such a great, like, sweet, kind person. Um, I think another thing I was getting is not only are you beautiful, you're extremely attractive, especially with this swan here. It's like this bird is looking in the mirror and very reflective as well. You could be somebody who has became very reflective, somebody who um, is very cool, calm, collective, knows how to control their emotions now, are getting better with controlling their emotions, not letting things, cause them to react. Because you realize that, like, when you react, not only do you attract negativity, but you also let those things control you and your emotions. So I feel like these cards are really saying how people or what people assume is that you are so like emotionally mature, and you are a visionary. You are somebody who's extremely, 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 extremely creative. And people want to be around you constantly. You're like that tall glass of fresh, tasty water. Like people find you to be so exciting to be around, so inspiring and motivating, and they just have this sense of like they're like touched with this bright light when it comes to you. You could be really in tuned with your inner child at this moment. You could be very, very, very intuitive. I kept getting that message. People find you to be very intuitive. Like you're so good at like understanding people, understanding where people are coming from, understanding other people's emotions, understanding why people may feel a certain way. And you're like, yeah, well, of course you'd feel that way. And then people like look at you kind of shocked and they're like, that's kind of crazy because you're like the only person that has said that to me. Because I feel like, the people that I surround myself make me feel crazy. but you don't make me feel crazy. You know, like, you are really good at attuning to how people feel and understanding how people feel and where they're coming from, and how things affect others. I think you could be very considerate of other people, but you found a balance with it. You maybe have struggled with codependency in the past, and people maybe knew about that, or people maybe have noticed that trait about you, or maybe people assume that you'd be a really good mother figure, like heavy, especially with this here, the wounded child and Queen of Cups here. Um, People assume that like you are healing through your childhood trauma, and people feel like because of that you would be such a great mother because you have healed or are healing through the generational trauma. And it's like you're not letting that stuff hold you back from being the best. You know, you're like becoming that person that you needed as a child. That's who you are leveling up into becoming, and people see that. People feel like you are their mother. And like and not in a codependent way. You maybe struggled with codependency because there might have been a part of you that, because you came from like this wounded child, or were this wounded child, it was like you felt like you had to help everybody, or you felt like you needed to rescue people, and that's what created that codependency. But now it's no longer there. It's like you help people when you can, but not in a way of taking away from yourself. You prioritize yourself, pile one. You do such a great job at taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental health, your physical health, and really getting in tune with like journaling, writing down how you feel, understanding how you feel, working through what you're feeling, maybe even with like a therapist. Maybe you go to like therapy and that's like your way of like, you know, just talking things through. That helps you work through like your triggers and helps you release them and get through like not being so triggered anymore. And that's why you're so cool, calm, collected. Like you're really cool, calm, collected. Another thing I'm getting that people assume is let me reread what this. People really assume that you have such a great mind. People find you to be so inspiring. Let me read again. Let me reread these cards. It's funny because like I know exactly what I want to say right before I start reading or start the reading, and then the second I start it, I like everything just goes black. So with the Swan card here, it says effortlessly creative. You are like just like, oh, you were born creative, pile one. You were born to be a creator. You were born to, you have this really strong purpose in life, and you could be really working towards that, figuring out what that is. For some of you, you guys could be feeling a little bit lost and not really sure where to flow into, in what direction to flow towards, in like what makes you feel happy and what makes you fulfill that purpose. So a piece of advice that I could give with that is, by healing your childhood wound, and developing a better relationship with yourself and knowing what do you want. What do you want? Don't worry about what other people want, okay? Like, for example, oh my God, my mom, my dad, they want me to be a doctor. Like, I have to go to medical school, yada, yada. No. Are you your dad? Are you your mom? No. So that means that that's what they would want to do, but that's not what you are going to do. You are going to do what makes you happy. If that is, you know, creating art, if that is doing, you know, becoming an influencer, if that's creating some sort of creative, artistic direction you want to go to, and that's what makes you feel the most happiest with your inner child, that is your direction. Now you know that is your direction. And it may make you uncomfortable because you know that that may not be what other people want you to do. But guess what? You aren't those other people. Those are not, that's not you. And that's what makes you two different, is because you are your own individual person. So that could be something that may help with some of you, pile one. For the rest of you, though, I think you guys have a really strong sense of self already. I think you guys already know what you want. You're very intuitive, very, very intuitive. You know, like, you'll have like a dream, like you'll sleep, and then your dream will explain to you deep subconsciously like what it is that you want. And then the next day, you're creating that beautiful artwork that you dreamed of like the night before. And it ends up, really working out for you. It's like you are so in tune with your body, your mind, your soul, and you're really fulfilling some soul, like your soul's purpose. There's a lot about hands here, like this hand embrace and then hands here. Some people could assume that you are a physical touch, like you love physical touch. Maybe if it's shaking hands or just holding people's hands, or, cuddling and like just embracing other people's hands. You could have really beautiful hands. People could find you could be like a hand model. Maybe there's like, I was also kind of getting like, maybe you have tattoos on your hands. That's with the Pinterest board. We'll get into that in a sec. That's going to be at the end of this reading. Or you could just have really, maybe even small, or if you're like a man or you have like bigger hands, you may have big hands. There's just something about your hands coming out. Okay. Another thing too with the child wounded card, before we hop into that, because this is going to be more of a deeper discussion, so that's where I'll end off the cards with, and then we'll hop into the index and the Pinterest in a sec. But let's talk about this row now. So this row was talking about that people assume that you're so effortlessly creative. You're just lucky. People are like, wow, Pylon's just lucky. And then when they get to know you, it's not luck. It's hard fucking work. You put the work in. And that's the difference. And people are like, wow, like, you inspire people to, pursue their dreams. And you have this infinite creative power. You are somebody who, you could be Hindu for some of you, because it did come out in the reading. It says this swan card represents a Hindu mythology, a goddess. It says that mythology goddess embodies language, creativity, and artistry. So you could be doing some sort of like creative endeavor, and it could be like writing, creating, reflecting. You could be very reflective. It says this potent healing energy is not to be taken for granted or lightly. The swan card appears in your soul, calling for attention, for some solo time, and inner voices waiting to be heard, and likely to be revealed. So with that card, I just think you're somebody who's very in tune with your vision. You're very in tune with your vision, and you're finding exactly what it is that your soul is calling for. And you want to know, for those of you that may not feel that way and you're still trying to figure that out, it is by detaching yourself from other people and deep diving within yourself. Sometimes like the Hermit card, look up what the Hermit card means. The Hermit card is about, hiding away, entering that darkness of the unknown, right? Being all by yourself, finding peace in the discomfort of being by yourself, and knowing that, and asking yourself deep down, what do you want to do? What do I want to do? And when you have these thoughts of like, oh, well, I know that I want to, become a doctor, right? Is it actually what you want to do? Or is it what your parents want you to do? Or is it other people, what they want you to do? So it's a big question to ask yourself and to really get to know who you are as an individual. Maybe that's something you need to ask or to look up. How can I better get to know myself on Google or ChatGPT? Um, the next row here is we have the sailor and the evidence. It says the sailor, new influences, wanderlust. So in this whole card talks about the story about this sailor on a boat that is sailing through the rough waters, and that's his like dream. Basically, he's happy with what he's doing in his career. It's just very difficult and the waters are very rough, and like a part of him misses the comfort of being home in the citadel. That's like the town basically of these cards. They miss being home. They miss, being in that comfort zone of everything being taken care of for them, not having to be independent and being able to be dependent on others. And this card's saying, this is your time to really step into getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. People could find you to be, you've stepped into this new power of being independent. And people could be shocked by that. That could be what people are assuming about you, is that you've became independent or you are independent. And it came from healing this wound. We're going to talk about this wound in a sec. With this evidence card is a little bit confusing to me. I don't really know exactly what this is trying to say, so I'm going to pull another card. And we have the blind card. That card actually was right after this card too when I pulled it out, so that's interesting. I think it's really about, you are stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into places that are uncomfortable, that are a little bit scary, that are, it's like the rough waters. And these, luck is on your side. That's the biggest thing is, Paiwan, is that no matter how rough the waters get, your boat is always going to sail. And like, that could be another thing is that you could have stepped in. What people assume about you is you magically survive everything. And you're really causing people to self-reflect and be like, wow, like I'm still worrying about survival when Paiwan's thriving. You know what I mean? Like it's no longer about surviving, it's about thriving and actually living life. Like you are living life. With the blind and evidence here, there could have been some sort of insecurities or wounds that were causing some vision problems for some of you, getting in the way of your vision. And I think the biggest thing could be the rooted belief of feeling not good enough. And what's so crazy, Pile One, is that may be something that maybe you feel or felt, and other people are looking at you and just assuming off of your looks. Like, people are not only inspired, but like intimidated by you and your potential, while you're worrying about not being good enough. It's like people find you to be more than good enough. The way people look at you is like, wow, Pio One is literally somebody I look up to. And a part of you, for some of you, is like, you still having that feeling of not feeling good enough. And it's like, hey, listen, don't listen to that. That's not true. It's not true. And it's it may be subconsciously keeping you blind to your beautiful potential and your beautiful opportunities, and new influences. Like, for example, when we have the rooted belief of feeling maybe not good enough, or that there's something wrong with us, or that we're broken, we tend to believe that we are not good enough for our vision, for our purpose, for that inner childlike dream that we have. For example, if someone wants to be a artist, a songwriter, they let their doubts hold them back and hold them back from, really giving it their all. Because the part of them is like, I continue to find evidence, not actually evidence, but they like to assume that it's evidence to prove their subconscious right that, hey, guess what? You're actually not good enough. But it's not real. It is a delusion. It's not real. You're only picking and prying the little tiny things that make you feel that way. But if you open your eyes up and look at it from the bigger picture and stop being blind and seeing all the different other evidence of people being like, I literally love you. Like, I'm literally like, you're the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I'm so inspired by you. If you would just listen to those people and be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. Thank you so much. And I feel so loved and supported by all these people. People aren't out to get me. People aren't, preying on my downfall. People actually support me. People actually support me. People actually love me. People actually care about me and my well-being. People look up to me. People look up to me. So I think that could be a really big, important message. And then the last message we're going to discuss is the childhood wound. It says, awaken passion, desires to serve other wounded children, open the learning path of forgiveness. And then it says, shadow attributes, blame old dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resisting to move on and finding forgiveness. So I think the number one thing is what people assume is that you found forgiveness. You came from, for some of you, a pretty difficult place. You maybe struggled a lot as a child. Maybe you didn't have that person to protect you and to keep you safe and loved and feeling of loved. And people maybe have, I don't think they assume that off of your looks, but people maybe have gotten to know you a little bit more. And people are like, wow, look at pile one to where where they came from and where they've come. Is that correct grammar? I don't know. People are like, wow, like if pile one could do it and came from childlike wounds similar to me, like that means I could do it. By you healing and believing in yourself, others can believe in themselves. It's about mirroring. The energy you put out from loving yourself inspires others to love themselves. And you could have had a lot of hate, a lot of anger towards the people who maybe have hurt you in the past. And slowly but surely, you're finding that forgiveness to let it go and understand that they did the best that they could, even if it wasn't, up to your standard or what you would have done in that moment. And you won't do in the future with your kids. You're still able to find forgiveness towards them, to understand that, it's in the past and it sucks because I wish I could have helped me. But now what matters is that now I am that person that can protect, these kids or my inner child. And I don't need them to protect me anymore. I can protect myself. I can choose and allow which energy is in. I can, continue to choose myself and protect myself and love myself, even if that person or whoever hurt me in the past couldn't. And finding forgiveness is about you, It's about letting go of that anger and all that stuff so that it's not holding you back in life anymore. Because sometimes it's easier to hurt and to be angry at people rather than finding forgiveness and being like, you know what, it's okay. I'm going to focus on me now. I'm going to become the adult that I needed. I'm going to become the adult that I needed. And now I can move forward and live a happy, fulfilling life. And sometimes people are so wrapped in their past that they can't ever move on. and they continue to play the victim of their life. You know, they continue to blame others, blame other things, and then they get lost and they are not able to fulfill their vision because they're so distracted by their past. And sometimes, you know, it's sad. But you're doing a great job, Pile One, and like I said, I think you've found forgiveness. You're becoming this beautiful shining star that you are, and everybody sees it. You know, what people assume off of your looks is that you are this shining bright light. Even though you may had insecurities or maybe still have insecurities, you're human. You, even if you did have this childhood wound, you're not broken. You're not, you know, um, not good enough because of where you came from. It doesn't matter where you came from. We all came from somewhere. We all had rough experiences. It doesn't mean you can, and you can do anything with that. You can literally become anything. It's just about what you believe, and it's about uprooting those beliefs of the lies that people told you because they're not true. You are a wonderful, shining star. Okay, so let's hop into the messages. So we got people pleasing, and I was getting people pleasing with Queen of Cups. So you may be falling into or healing from people pleasing tendencies. So for example, like when we were younger, there's a beautiful message. Hold on, let me find this for you. I think this would really help. This would really help you, or the people that I think need it to hear this. There's this wonderful guy that I follow on Instagram that is literally the best. Let's see if I know he has one message that talks about people pleasing. Damn, I wish he had. Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it, but it's this guy here.
In another universe, I meet my mother. I think that I've missed the point. When we stop forcing people to love us, we make room for the people that were created for us. This is something that I've dealt with over and over in my life. And to be honest, as I've reflected on it, I think it's something that's deeply subconscious within me. It's like I'm almost attractive to people that don't love me the way that I feel like I should be loved. And what I realized was that I think that I am half of the problem. They might be attracted to the person that I am, but I'm also attracted to the person that they are. And it feels normal, but it's not healthy. And what I have to remind myself is that there are people on this planet right now that were created for relationship with me.
That's a beautiful message. He had one that was specifically about people pleasing. I can't find it right now, but if you want to check out his page, he is a beautiful person, and he has like such great videos all the time. So definitely check him out if you're interested. Okay, let's get into some more messages here. So we have you are blessed. And oh my god, people love your hairstyle. It says, I believe it, so I create it. Yes. Yes, that's what people love about you, Paiwan. What people assume is that you're such a creative individual, and people could see it just by your style, by your hairstyle, by the way you look, the way you accessorize, the way you dress. People are like, wow, like Pile One is such a creative individual. And like you believe in the dreams, in the vision, and people love that. People love that so much. People could really love your hairstyle, your hair dye. For some of you, it could be that maybe you have tattoos. People could want to brush your hair. Um, People could be crushing on you. We have beautiful opportunity. People feel like you always have beautiful opportunities handed to you. Like every time people have conversations with you or like people look at you, they're always like, wow, like Pile One is always doing something new, doing something different. And like they're always changing it up. I wanted to say earlier, like something about change. I was getting like, it's time to change it up. You know, maybe something you need is a new style, a new look. Maybe that will help you reignite your creative side to you. Like for example, me, I dyed my hair recently. I want it to be like all white to like really signify my transformation. And that could be something that maybe you do. It says I want you to be happy. People want you to be happy. People literally look up to you. People like shine bright off of your happiness. People feel inspired by your happiness. You could have a really wealthy mindset. People could, like I said, people really like can see you being somebody who's really healthy or healthy and wealthy. We have detective. Yeah, people feel like you are really good at tuning into people's like vibes. And you could be really good at like detecting whether or not somebody's here for you or if somebody's like, you know, leeching off of you. I think you're really good at, and it's by the way you feel, because you're so in tuned with the way that you feel, Paiwan, that you can tell when somebody's like sucking the life out of you versus when somebody's lifting you up, inspiring you, and, you know, genuinely making you feel happy. Like I said, like people, there's some people out there that are like, wow, like people are shocked that you would, people find you to be so respectful. Okay, but people find you to be like, they're like, whenever I'm around Paiwan, I feel so refreshed. I feel so like excited to conquer the world and excited to step into my abilities. And then when they're like with other people, they're like, wow, like why does everyone make me feel crazy, you know? Also another thing, Paiwan, people could assume that you're like, again, like an influencer, that you have a YouTube, that you like, maybe people find yourself filming yourself or taking photos. People are like, oh yeah, she's definitely probably got like 1 million followers, you know, like people just like, or they could maybe find you to look like familiar in some way. Okay, let's get into your Pinterest board pictures. So let's see what we got here. I talk a lot, but I love it. Okay, so what we have for you, Paiwan, is make beautiful things happen. So I think you are somebody that really makes beautiful things happen. You're like this person that ignites beauty in the world. You're like somebody that's going to like make such a beautiful impact on this world, that's really going to um bring a lot of happiness towards others. You are this shining bright light that really inspires other people to find their own happiness. This image also came out. There could be somebody in particular that is crushing over you, that wants to hug you, want to like, you know, bury their face in your arms if you're a man, or if they're the man, they could like, obviously it doesn't have to be a heterosexual relationship, but they could maybe want to just like wrap their arms around you and like squeeze your face. You could have a really cute, like kissable, sweet face that they love. People could really love your nails. You could also have like a big chest, beautiful chest. There could be something about Hello Kitty. Yeah, definitely. There could be somebody that maybe you're gonna be connecting with soon, or you have connected with, or already with, that really just like feels inspired by your vision. Maybe you guys will connect on a vision. And the reason why I say this is because the eyes, and you guys see things in maybe similar perspectives of like just seeing the beauty in life and romanticizing life and seeing life as such a beautiful thing. You know, life is short. Why not, romanticize it? There could be someone in particular that likes to play video games with you. They could want to, like, be wrapped up around you and play some Nintendo Switch games, or just like cuddle you and like play some games. Maybe even live stream, because YouTube came out. There could be some like wanting to live stream with you. Um, for some of you, I was getting like maybe cosplaying or like dressing up in like cute outfits and taking pictures and posting them on Instagram. People could be like assuming that. Also, okay, let me get back on topic because I was like, people could be assuming that you are in a relationship. People could be assuming that you found your soulmate. People could be assuming that you guys like live stream together, or you're like this big live streamer that you like live stream with your partner or your like significant other. People can like assume that you take really maybe some sexy photos for Instagram, or you just always look hot in every photo. People assume that maybe you would like again have like a big or like really nice photos of yourself, or that you're like very photogenic, um, or that you have like these really cute outfits, really nice shiny skin, beautiful hair, sweaters, skirts, and that you take like really cute, sexy photos for Instagram. It says, when he asked me what we are, but I have severe daddy issues. So this came out and it really caught my eye, and I thought it was low-key kind of funny. For some of you, you guys may have like daddy issues, and if that's the case, it could have made you feel like with the childhood wound said about coming with forgiveness and like insecurities, you could be like literally the most beautiful person, like literally physically and mentally one of the most beautiful people, but for some reason there's a part of you that maybe doesn't feel that way, and it could have came from again the childhood feeling like, my parents or whoever it was, my friends, or I was bullied, or all those different things. And we're like, wow, these people made me feel this way. And it's like, hey, understand that people just project. It wasn't actually that you weren't beautiful inside and out. It was that that person wasn't beautiful inside and out. And they were jealous, potentially, or wanted to project their own insecurities. So it's time to release those insecurities. It's not who you are. It's the environment that made you feel that way. It's not who you were and not who you were born to be. Release the exterior, release the shell, release the hard exterior and shine bright like this beautiful inner child that you are. There could be someone in particular that really wants to be with you, and you maybe struggle with commitment issues for some of you, and that could be something that's like you could be working through, finding forgiveness and finding acceptance towards imperfections, and also maybe finding the bad, like you could be healing your taste in men for some of you, and you're releasing that negative idea of that all men are bad, or like all women are bad or something, and you're starting to like heal that and finding better people. You're finding better like men that love you genuinely, that take care of you genuinely, that actually appreciate you and respect you, and you get to choose who you want to be loved by, and you get to choose who you want your forever partner to be, to take care of your kids. So it could be something that you've like healed that, and you're really finding like, or you found such a beautiful individual, such a beautiful life partner. I was also getting that with this image where it was like, yeah, daddy issues. Like there could have been maybe like past lovers that maybe weren't the best for you, didn't really treat you right. And a big message I wanted to say that I think we should discuss real quick is like sometimes it's a deep-seated like thing of being like sexually attracted to these type of people, Like, we are attracted to people who disrespect us. We're attracted to men that treat us like shit. And it's because subconsciously a part of us wants to relive our trauma and fix those people and like, you know, somehow be loved by our fathers. It's like, listen, you're not going to be able to get that through somebody who you could tell just by their actions and the red flags right off the bat that they're going to be somebody that's not what you want, which is somebody who treats you with respect. So that's like a fulfilling prophecy that basically just sabotages yourself. So it's important to be self-aware of that. And then also, sometimes we're just like sexually attracted to like lustful, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's important to know that your body, your mind, when you start finding the people that disrespect you unattractive, that's when you know you're healing. That's when you know you're healing. Because, like, think about how gross it is that somebody's, you know, that you care about is willing to disrespect you. It's like, it's just like gross. You know what I mean? Anyways. So this one also popped up. Why are you not focusing? Please focus on a damn photo. Focus. Just made it worse. Okay, anyways. Whatever. Oh, Lord have mercy. So it's Gojo's sister, and then Megami, and they're like watching a video or something. So this is giving me like maybe you're meeting friends or you're meeting people who are like going to help your purpose and your vision blossom into this beautiful thing. People also feel like your nails are fire. Like, people's impression is that you always have like these fire nails. And then it says, work until you don't have to introduce yourself anymore. I feel like you're literally a star, pile one. Like, you're really stepping into this star energy. So that is what I have for you, pile one. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, consider subscribing, and checking out my Beacon AI tab if you're interested. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos. If you chose this image, this will be your reading on what do people assume off of your looks. So we have pre-shuffled oracles here. So we have the Temple. We have the Phoenix. We have the Waker. We have the Hierophant. We had two cards came out, said Nerdy and Ghost. We got Mystique. We got Mars, and we got Frightened. Okay, so before we hop into cards, I want to talk about your thumbnail. So what do people assume based off your looks of your thumbnail? So the first thing is, you could be like really, I think you could be somebody who is super sweet, super kind. You just give this really like gentle look to you. Like, you may have like a resting, what is it? BTF? I think that's what it's called. Like, resting bitch face. But you are like so far from, it's like, looks like a kill you is a cinnamon roll. You know what I mean? Like, you are definitely a sweetheart at heart, and when people look at you, they feel like, wow, like, Paltu's low-key kind of intimidating. Like, I don't know if I want to go up to her. I want to be friends with her, but I'm a little bit too afraid to reach out. So there could be something about that. Um, and you could be maybe a little bit introverted. I'm also getting like, but also for some of you, I feel like you're not introverted at all. It's like this duality. You could be severely extroverted around your friends that you're really close with, and then extremely introverted around people you don't know. And that might be because you're trying to like control how they perceive you a little bit. Trust me, girl, you can't control how people perceive you. So just be yourself, love. Um, what else am I getting? I think you also have such a like natural beauty to you. Your hair color, your eyebrow color, your eyes, like are all so beautiful. I think people with your Pinterest board, we'll get into that at the end of the reading, but people really find your eyes to be so attractive, and people see like such kindness in your eyes. Um, People also love your jewelry. Your jewelry really makes you stand out. I wanted to say also, I also wanted to say also, you really stand out from the crowd, pile two. Even though you have potentially maybe your default look, like you have your natural hair color, you have your natural eyebrow color, eyelashes, eyes, you still stand out. You still catch people's eyes all the time. And you may be asking, how is that possible? It is just something about you, pile two. I think it's your beauty, but also just like there's something about you that's just very eye catching. Um, you look like a princess, like princess, severe, like literally Sleeping Beauty. I'm getting like Sleeping Beauty. Um, Definitely. Okay, you know what? Let's just hop into the reading because I'm not gonna look into these cards because I like already kind of like know what I'm getting. So let's hop into it. Okay. Um, Pile two. So I think I was also kind of getting like, you may never sleep. You may have some like eye bags. Um, or you may just look tired sometimes. And people may like wonder if you just don't sleep. You could be like working really hard towards something that's causing you to be a little bit restless. If that's not the case, this could also be that you may sleep a lot or maybe need a lot of sleep, and you could have low iron. If you are iron deficient, baby girl, get some iron in your bloodstream because you may need it. Um, there could be another thing of like you could be always resting, and another reason to what that may be caused from, or like what is that, why that's happening. If you feel like you're always sleeping, you're like, why am I always sleeping? It could be iron deficient, or it could also be like something mentally. I've noticed that when people are like low-key kind of like upset or depressed, and we have depressed here, or like constantly thinking very negatively, like having a lot of negative thoughts, it becomes, when you think very negatively, it like sucks the life out of you. So it's like in your mind. So it's like your mind is sucking the energy out of you. And it's why you're so tired all the time. So that could be something significant for you guys, pile two, if that, if that's how you feel. Maybe what could be beneficial is working through those negative thoughts, um, and asking yourself, how can I think more positively? How can I put my thoughts on trial and see them as like negative delusions? Because sometimes we could be also really negatively delusional. Um, there's this one image I saw on Instagram that I felt like was such a good like description of what negatively being so negatively delusional looks like, and it's like this character like spewing out like this toxic black foam, and it's from being so negatively delusional. It's like you really are just like, it's like toxic from the inside, you know, and like you're hurling it out, you're like getting it out. And that's what like basically healing is like you are shedding and getting out this toxicity that isn't yours. It isn't who you are meant to be. It isn't yours. Anyways, besides that, so that could be just like something that people notice. People may notice that you're a little bit frightful. People may notice that maybe you're like a bit of like a jumpy cat. Maybe when people say like, people might tap on your shoulder and you're like, and you're like, what are you, why are you freaking out? I just was trying to say hello. Like you're gonna just like really jumpy. And so that could be something. You can maybe have a lot of fears, or a lot of like maybe a little bit frightful. Or those could be all things that maybe you're healing, or getting through, and you've awakened past that, you know, side to you. And you're starting to like blossom like this beautiful flower, really stepping into this healing your temple and your mind, mind, body, and soul with this temple card here. We also have Phoenix here. We have the Awaker, the Awareness, Reflection, and then the Hierophant. Excuse me. We have the Mystic, reveals the intimate union with the divine. And then Mars. Let me read what the Mars card says. Give me one moment. I know this is about chaos, because this is the Mars is usually like representative of the Tower card, transformation. So Mars says, Mars is the planet of aggression. It determines how you assert yourself, take action, and the energy that surrounds you, particularly in your sex life, you're ambitious, and when you're angry. So when you are feeling triggered, there could be something about people may feel like you may run away. You could be somebody that maybe flees. Like when you're triggered, you're like, you know how they say fight, flight, fight, or flee or something, or fawn or whatever. You're like the flight. You're like somebody who like runs away, potentially. And that could be something that maybe you're healing is, you know, stepping out into the universe, shining, letting the sun shine on your skin and feeling the warmth of the sun as you step into, you know, the outside and the community and meeting new people. You could be maybe joining some sort of, people may feel like you are changing, really having this drastic change, especially with this Phoenix card. Everything I was saying about all these different other things, like with the being frightened or potentially a little bit depressed, is like people maybe have noticed that's what you were like in the past. And people have noticed this really drastic change that you have embodied. You're finding more happiness and light and, you know, seeing more things, like appreciating life more. You could be trying to heal your relationship with your body. You could be dabbling into some like obviously tarot card. You know, this card is like upright, is like traditional way of thinking, traditional way of like religional, like somebody who's religious, somebody who is spiritual. In reverse, it's more of like a taboo version. It's like somebody who's kind of like doesn't follow the rules. They're not somebody who is they're not like a town citizen. They're more of like they're like Batman. They're not like Superman. They're Batman. You know, I'm getting like Batman vibes. So Batman's more of like a vigilante. Like he's not really a superhero, but he's also not really a villain. And For some of you, this could be like, this is really giving me like maybe stepping into yoga, healing your mind, body, and soul with like yoga. Maybe you guys joined like a yoga class or Pilates or some sort of like class that is causing you to meet new people, new like friends, and could be really healing your soul. People could feel like you're stepping into this really zen period of your life, maybe becoming like a zen teacher. Maybe you have became this teacher. Maybe you're a tarot card reader. You could be somebody who's stepping into teaching others about their mind, body, and soul. You could have had this amazing awakening quite recently, finding more self-awareness of your actions, the way you react to people, and like reflecting within yourself. This is giving me the Swan card. I know I said it in the beginning, was like, oh, I saw the Swan card. The Swan card was actually in pile 1, so if you want to check out pile 1, or for some of you, if you feel called, check it out. But it's also still giving me the Swan card with the reflection here. It's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're loving what you're seeing, and you have this beautiful, elegant beauty about you, and you're really finding this like this zenful way of thinking towards life, just like letting it go. Let it go. Let it pass. That uncomfortable feeling, let it pass. You know what this is reminding me of, this Hierophant? Is you are becoming like this guy. Hold on. I love this guy so much. He is an amazing Reiki. You guys definitely probably have seen him. He's everywhere. But he's a Reiki healer. He talks about the chakras and stuff. Where is he? He's always on my feed. Why is he not on my feed now? What the hell? Hold on, guys. This guy right here. You could be watching this guy, or you could be like starting to embody like his energy. So this guy, okay, something I want to say that I think would be important is that guy is like, what he does is he makes these videos about like healing and Reiki healing, and he's like talks about basically what he says in like this relaxing tone of voice, being like, okay, like, you know, you are beautiful, you are wonderful, saying all these words of affirmation, and also saying like, you may have that uncomfortable thought, but watch it and let it pass. Like, he's got this really zen like love to him, that it's like he's very calm, collective, peaceful. I think that could be something, that energy that you're starting to embody. And for some of you, I'm kind of getting like this paranoia that you could be healing. And something to say for those of you that may be still stuck in that energy is understand that paranoia isn't real. Our fears, don't let your fears control you, because our fears are just delusions. They are just delusions. Fears are not real. Fears are anxieties of the future. We aren't in the future, we're in the present moment. Stop letting the future dictate the way you rule your life. And fears hold you back in life. You know what fears come from? Is your ego. So like, for example, our ego, that part of ourselves, that like shadow side of ourselves, is trying to keep us safe. So you know what our ego tells us? Oh, you can't go outside. You can't go outside. People are out there. People are going to hurt you. People are going to, people want to, yada yada, all these delusional thoughts. None of that's true. When you finally get the courage and have the strength, because you got the strength card, pile 2, you could be already in that energy, dabbling in the courage, the strength, having the strength of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, stepping into that uncomfortable feeling of stepping outside. So there could be something about like, people may find you a little bit paranoid, but they could be noticing that you are really starting to step out of your comfort zone and maybe hanging out with friends, maybe going out with friends, maybe Because some people may feel like you may ghost a lot, that you don't really like go out, or people may feel like you are like a ghost, maybe pale like a ghost. I'm getting. Um, I was also getting people feel like you're very intuitive, and people feel like you're very connected with the divine. Like with this, your heavy Zen energy. People feel like you're very Zen, calm, cool, collected, Zen. You may also say these most like amazing like statements that really make people think when it comes to like you're giving me the energy of like the uncle from Avatar. You know, like Zuko's uncle, Uncle Iroh. Have you guys ever watched the Avatar? My intro music is from the Avatar, if you ever noticed. But um, Uncle Iroh always has these beautiful pieces of like wise wisdom that he just like drops. He just drops the mic, and it really like is so. People like really think about it for such a long time, and then they're like, "Wow, Pile 2 was right." People feel like you embody that energy of just being really wise and like a really like powerful, strong teacher because you're so reflective and so self-aware. That's like who you're stepping into. I think, or already are. You could already be those things. All the other like other things like this row here could just be like the past version of you, or the things that you may still see yourself as that people may still see little parts of. Um, you could be also a little like you're so stunning, Pile too, but I think you also have this really cute, like nerdy side to you that people love because like you may have like this nerdy side for like Star Wars or Spider-Man or like those are for like the men, potentially men out there. But you could have like a nerdy side to like maybe you love um like anime or like cosplay, or just like you have these cute hobbies that are really funny that people love that you are like maybe starting to really step into, and embrace that nerdy side. There's no need to hide it. Embrace it. Shine bright. Let that shit shine because that's what makes you unique. Ow, holy shit, my whole hip just like got twisted. Ugh. You could crack your back a lot. Um, so with the you could be very intuitive, and with this Mars card, the way people may see that you're not somebody to get really aggressive much, but when you do, or when you do get triggered, when there's chaos going on, you're definitely somebody who definitely ghosts or just like runs away, and hides. So that's like your way of like coping with chaos. And I think a lot of people like want to give you a hug. I feel like Pile 3 is like the hugger. Pile 3 is the type of person that would love to hug you, Pile 2. They want to just give you a big warm embrace. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, Pile 2. That's what people are assuming off of your looks. Let's see what else we have. So we got people may assume that you like it rough in bed. That's crazy that that just came out. We also have limerence. You could like be crushing on somebody and somebody may know, or somebody could be crushing on you and they're kind of like they could tell that you also have a crush on them. I don't know. People also feel like you could be self-aware about some limerence you may be having, and you're finding like zen to like let that go. It says feet on earth, mind on heaven. Interesting. We have you're very balanced with your mind, body, and soul. We have you are so funny. You could be really goofy. People could wonder if you're European. Maybe you need like a girls' night. Maybe hanging out with some girls. People could find you to be very emotionally intelligent. People love. I think another really big thing is Pile 2 is you are so unique in every way that that's what makes you so lovable. Like you're such a sweet, kind, loving individual that people want to like protect you. People want to keep you safe. People want to remind you of your power and your influence and your strength and your courage. I think that's another thing is people find you to be so strong. People find you to be literally so strong, so powerful. And especially when it comes to your like peace, this Zen energy you got going on, people see it. People are like, wow, she's really in tune with her intuition. Or sorry, they are. Pile 2 is. What was this card again? Temple. Yeah, you have like it's really giving me like yoga master or like yogi or like guru, like healthy guru that does meditation and drinks matcha. It's really giving me that. We have rejection. Rejection is divine protection. Some of you could be smokers. And you maybe have faced some crazy change. Yeah, people have been noticing your change. People have noticed how much you've changed. And I think that's what makes you even so much more attractive, pile 2. We have rejection. So I wonder what this rejection here is. Maybe you have came to terms with feeling rejected in some way. And you're kind of like, it doesn't bother you anymore. It's kind of like, you know what? I'm happy it worked out in that way. Read something about that. We have take it day by day. There could be something about you're like, wow, I'm glad that didn't work out. We could have, it says self-limiting. There could be something about maybe, also no, for some of you, just because you're rejected, like, I guess it depends on what it is. If it's like a career goal you're chasing after, know that just because you're rejected doesn't mean you have to give up on it. It doesn't mean that the divine was like, oh, well, it's just not for you. Look at Disney. Disney World got rejected like 100 and something times. And they continued to push to try to get it built. And it ended up getting built. So, it depends on what you want to do and what makes you happy. Is it something you want to continue? Or is it something that you're like, okay, fine, I'll let it go and move on from? Because I'm actually want to go in this direction instead. We have workout. You could be someone that works out. People could love your athletic body. People could find you to be really athletic. People could find you to be really focused on yourself. People could also feel like you're, maybe you have some Virgo energy. Maybe you're very like, you're like the hermit, you really like to hermit, climb into your shell and stay in your comfort zone. And maybe that shell like literally blew open and you're kind of like exposed to the outside now, and you're finding ways to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. There could be something about gossiping. Maybe you've been working through like letting go of gossiping about people. Maybe you're not really somebody who cares to gossip about others. You could be someone that maybe has stopped gossiping because it's like you realize that it's just not. Yeah, of course it's good to vent, but like sometimes we gossip because it's like we're just projecting, and it's easier to like project our feelings onto others rather than face what we're feeling and like reflect on why we're feeling that way. So like for example, when a girl, like another female, makes you uncomfortable because maybe they're loud, it's actually, and you're like, oh my god, she's so loud and she's so obnoxious, yada yada. And then when you look and ask yourself and look in the mirror and see that, wow, like this person taught me a lesson because she triggered me because she was loud, because I felt like when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to be loud. I wasn't allowed to be expressive of myself. I wasn't allowed to take up space as a human being. And I always had to be perfect. And that's why it was so hard for you to allow others to take up space and not be perfect. Okay, so that might be something that resonates. Okay, let's look at your images for Pinterest board. So what we got for you, pile 2, is we got this dream here. It says it feels like a dream. So you could be like always dreaming. You could be always in the state of dreaming of like, for some of you it could be limerence, like dreaming about a person. And that's like maybe a sign for you to, if that resonates with you, That could be a sign for you to start focusing on yourself and, start pursuing your purpose in life. Because something that I noticed is when I would believe that I wasn't good enough for something, I would always fall into like falling into having a crush over somebody and being like, oh my God, they're so perfect. They do all these, they are like so dedicated in their career, yada yada. I want them to save me. And then I realized that actually I need to save myself. I need to actually, pursue my dreams and stop distracting myself with limerence and crushing over people. So that could be something for some of you. We have feels like a dream. So you could be always dreaming. Maybe for some of you, you are dreaming and taking action towards that dream. You could have really beautiful hair. For some of you, you could have really colored hair. People could love the color of your hair. Or maybe you guys wear wigs. Do you wear wigs? We have good things never come from comfort zones. So you could be really stepping out of your comfort zone and creating some really, amazing things. We have my girlfriend is hotter than you. You could be somebody's girlfriend or somebody's boyfriend, and your partner could find you to be like literally the hottest person in this world. Like they're like, nobody's hotter than my girlfriend, nobody's hotter than my boyfriend. There could be something else about you could be so expressive of how much you love your partner, and that's such a beautiful thing too that people love is like people are like, wow, like pile 2 is like so loyal. So that could be something. People could see you being like I want to say like model. I also got like maybe some of you are a little bit on the gothic side. People could love your cross earrings or your crosses. You could be definitely a little bit, your style could be a little bit taboo, like it's very unique. And that's where that card came out. Hold on. That's where that card came out about the Hierophant in reverse. You could be also Taurus. You could be Taurus. You could be a Taurus. Pile 2, you could be like very unique with your look and you call a lot of attention and a lot of eyes on you. And it's time for you to shine bright. It's time for you to allow them to look at your beauty. You could definitely have a really unique look and style. People could love you. Could look like, for some of you, could look like Megan Fox. You could have really bright eyes and dark hair. If that's not the case, you could just be, people find you to be very like sensual or very sexy. You have this like siren look to you. People could also love to like watch you eat. I don't know what the hell that's about, but or maybe like eat candy. People could feel like you're sweet like candy, but your looks, like again, your looks could kill. Your looks could kill. Definitely some finger tattoos or something. You could people feel like you're really good at your makeup because it looks so natural. People could love the way you do makeup. You could be really good at it. People also, I'm really getting like the head is in the clouds, like my head's in the clouds. People really find you to be like such a beautiful dreamer and you'll never stop dreaming big. And that's like the beautiful thing about you. Such a beautiful thing. People could feel like you have a companion. Maybe you have this really beautiful relationship with your pets. I just thought of like maybe you have like a pet account, or you could have like such a beautiful, I didn't even mean to say that, but you could have such a beautiful kitty, and you could literally have like such a cute cat that is like your companion, that people are like, wow, like that's your spirit animal. For some people could feel like maybe you're like the devil on their shoulder. There could be somebody that maybe is crushing over you, like you are their crush, and you're like this thought that always pops up in their mind that they're like, she's just so gorgeous, so beautiful. I just want to be with her. And you're like the little devil on their shoulder. So I also have acid. So some people could feel like maybe you're like on oh my god, this looks terrible. This looks terrible on the camera right now. Can you like fucking relax. Sorry, guys. This looks terrible. It literally won't let me show this. So it is, it says acid like multiple times. And I just thought of like maybe people wonder if you take drugs. Because again, like the tired look, having the tired look, and then we have this image. It says projection. It says projecting undesirable feelings or emotions on to someone else rather than admitting to or dealing with the unwanted feelings. So you may be feeling or doing that, and that could be something that people maybe have noticed, or maybe assume off of your looks. People could wonder if maybe you're like a gossiper, or that you would gossip, or maybe people automatically assume that you would maybe gossip about them. That could be something. But that is what I have for you, Patu. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, consider subscribing. Let me know how you did in the comments. If you're interested, check out my beginning eye tab. I have personal readings there, t-shirts, and my 18 plus extended is available. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes. If you chose this image, this will be your reading on what do people assume off of your looks. So we have the agape, I think that's how you say it. We have the horse. We have the scholar. We have the Three of Cups. We have the 8th house of death and transformation. Oh, will that get me demonetized? I'll put a little heart on it. We have memories, or memory. And then we have travel, hoping. And the queen. So, pile 3. Some things that people assume based off of your looks is that people assume that you get a lot of attention because of your looks. People assume that, first off, that you are like a queen, that you treat yourself like royalty. People feel like you're super elegant, exquisite, unique. People feel like you're super intelligent, extremely intelligent, and very wise individual. You're also, people feel like you are very steady, like this horse here. This horse represents earth energy. I'm going to read into the card more specifically. But more about your thumbnail, people assume that maybe you've gotten work done. I don't know why that's coming out, but it did. People may assume that that your jewelry is very expensive. People love your jewelry. You could wear like rose gold colored jewelry, because that's what's coming out. Or there could be something about rose gold. I just thought of like a wedding ring. Or that could just be the color. Like rose looks really good on you. Like the color, like the pink light color looks really good on you. People feel like you are somebody that a lot of people want to like. People feel like you're very lucky to the point where things are like handed to you. Like people feel like people assume off of your looks because you are so attractive and just like the whole package. People feel like a lot of people feel or just inclined to offer you things, to like be like, hey, like, do you want me to pay for your food? Oh, like that'll be on my tab. We're like, oh, don't worry about it. I got it for you. And kind of just like, why are all these people paying for my stuff? Or people just are like, they walk out of, the grocery store or like the store or something, they bought something, they're like, oh, do you want this? Oh, here you go. Like, you're just always getting like free stuff, or you're constantly being blessed with abundance randomly. Um, because people see you as this queen, like, how in the olden days, like the queen sits on the throne and they're like, here, my queen. Yeah. There's just like always taking care of the queen. The queen doesn't have to move or even like lift a finger. People feel like you are very pampered and not in like a negative way. Like you are taken care of. People feel like you're really taken care of. And whether it was, given to you or not, like either way, people feel like you were, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. People still find you to be super blessed, and because you deserve it. People feel like you are super valuable. So it's like, of course she's the queen. Of course she's in this position that she's given because she is blessed, lucky, beautiful, amazing, deserves the whole world. People may put you on a pedestal a lot, pile 3, and you may not even want it, but like you're given it. So, I mean, use it to your advantage, I suppose. um, but a lot of people really also look up to you. You can radiate some regal feminine energy. You could be very feminine. You definitely attract all the things that you want in life. And you manifest. You're a really good manifester. We have uses her beloved authority to protect others. You could be like a beautiful queen that protects her friends. Like, you could be like that really great friend that when you go out drinking, you're like, hey, like, I don't really feel too good about this guy. I think we should, leave him or avoid him. Like, you're the type of person to watch out for your friends and maybe even be like the silver driver or somebody who's just like always got their eye out for others. People feel like the way that people see you is also like you may travel a lot. People feel like there would be people that would want to pay for your flight or put you in first class to fly you out to them. Like, people find you to be, people are like, see you as somebody that would maybe travel a lot, travel for work, just be always traveling and taking vacations and enjoying life. You could have like a big group of friends or a great group circle of some really sweet girls that you may celebrate a lot with and have a really good time, like around the poolside or go on vacation with. There could be some friends or people like look at you and they see you as having a really good friend group. And maybe even being like the leader of the friend group. People see you as someone who is super wise also when it comes to picking your friends. You can have like a really, really good set of friends. I think you would also make great memories. I think people are hoping to also fly you out to them, maybe. There could be something about hoping that maybe you'll travel to their city or travel to their town, or come travel to them. There could be something about traveling. People are hoping that you travel with them. Maybe your friends or like the when people see you, they're kind of like, oh my god, I would love to travel with this person. They look like they'd be such a great travel buddy. You could be really in your wands energy. I think like the 3 of wands is like travel. So yeah, I'm really getting that. We also have 3 of cups here. So definitely 3, the number 3 could be significant. We also have number 8, which 8 is the number of abundance, but in the 8th house, it's about death and transformation. So you could be very sensual, very in your feminine energy, very sexual. You could be very in tuned with your sexuality. You embrace your sexuality. You embrace your, sexualness, and you're not afraid to be sexual. You could be so beautiful, like a butterfly, and also very transformative, like a butterfly. You could be somebody that changes a lot, and you may also be somebody who's very nostalgic. People see you as being somebody very nostalgic. You could have a lot of memories, and maybe a lot of memories with people that maybe you don't spend your time with anymore because you've changed so much that you've kind of outgrown them. People feel like you're very nostalgic, and people may love to resonate or what is it? Reminisce. People love to reminisce in memories with you. And they're like, "Oh, do you remember this? Like, this was such a great time. We should do it again." You know. Um, I think another message I'm getting with the Three of Cups is definitely people may love to party with you. People feel like maybe you like to party and have a good time. Uh, People could feel like you could be great at like teamwork or working well with others. People also feel like you look great in a bikini. Um, People may like pay for your drinks or order for your drinks and be like, "Oh, like don't worry, this one's on me, guys." Um, People feel like you could be very in tuned with your academics. You could literally be like a scholar, a straight A student, like you're very smart, intellectual, book smart. You could be very book smart. People assume that you are off of your looks, that you'd get like a really great job that would give you a lot of freedom to do whatever it is that you want. Like people feel like you are so intelligent that no matter what you choose to do, you're smart enough to like you're more than smart enough. You're like so smart that you would get like such a great job to really open your time up to be so free and live the life that you want. There's investigation and research. I think you're the type of person that also likes to get to the bottom of investigations. I think we got the detective card in one of the other readings too. So that's interesting that that popped out again. So there could be someone watching all these piles. But I think the investigation card is giving me like you could be someone that really likes to get like a background check on people and like really see into like getting to know people. You're somebody that really likes to get to know people and see and be like, "Oh, is this you have like really high standards when it comes to who you want to surround yourself with. Not because it's like, oh, they're not good enough for me. I feel like obviously everybody's worthy. Everybody's good enough. Everybody's deserving of anything they put their mind to. I think it's more about like, you're like, I don't really want to surround myself with people who are extreme partiers and get drunk every night and, do things that I'm not really comfortable with. You know what I mean? It's like you have like boundaries for yourself, and which is respectable, which is normal. You're like, okay, well, this person I want to be close friends with, this person I don't know if I want to surround myself with. So you have like a checklist when it comes to the people you surround yourself with, and the checklist of like what you say yes to. Oh, I think you could, that probably triggered some people. Sorry, guys. You could be somebody that maybe wakes up really early, has your alarm set, and you're like, you just want to chuck your phone across the room sometimes. You could just be someone that maybe wakes up really early. Let's see what the agape says and the horse. So let's see, we got Excitation. Okay, we got it. It says devotion, unconditional love. Okay, and then it says in light, service, reverence, honor, joy, in dark, spiritual bypassing, righteousness. I was kind of getting that. That's interesting. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, goddess, or nature at the center? How would you change your approach? Such is the energy of the agape. It is alive when you are in awe and wondering. Our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us, ask us for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual intonation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa. Such an inatory moment can appear in any form and can end like a healing palm or balm to the modern soul. Jesus Christ. It affects last at a lifetime. The agape card may also suggest your reassessment of what you worship every day, consciously and subconsciously. What are you elevating? What does the sacred ladder lead you to climb? So, pile 3. I think this is saying that you are somebody, for some of you, it could be you're climbing the corporate ladder and you're staying very consistent with that. There could also be something about this sense of like, people may feel like you are better than them. And it's not that you think that way. It's kind of like people just like, you may make people feel a bit insecure. And that's why you may be very picky when it comes to who you surround yourself with. There could also be something about righteousness. And it's making me think of like, you could be somebody that's working on understanding other people and having more compassion and understanding and like forgiveness towards other people, and like people's decisions and actions, and not coming from a place of judgment or feeling like what is right and what is wrong, because there is no right and wrong. It's just perspective. So there could be something about that. And then I think there could be something about, you could be really focusing on what you put your energy towards. Like, you're not somebody that's focusing on things that don't no longer serve you. You really focus on things that like matter. So like, you're focusing on the positives. You're focusing on the beautiful things in life, and that's the life you're creating, because you're focusing on the good things, you know, because that's the life. When you pay attention to those things, you subconsciously reinforce those things. So what people assume about your looks is that you may not have a lot of friends, because like there's, you know, a certain group of girls that you're looking for, but people know that the friends you do have are some real nice ass people that really are there for you. It's like quality over quantity. That's what people assume. I think also people assume you to be really smart, climbing the corporate ladder, very nostalgic. You're like a queen, very feminine. You maybe travel a lot. You've done a lot of work transforming, a lot of soul, you know, searching. And then lastly, we have a lot of maturing. People find you to be super mature, pile 3. We got the horse here, and the horse represents, what the hell? I just saw it. The horse represents momentum, freedom, expansion, energy, and force. It says the horse represents the most powerful, masterful form on the earth. Energy within the deck. It provides us with a momentum so reliable, so supportive that you could ride on its back, backwards towards any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone on collecting our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, exercise, mental focus, meditation are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. So with the agape here and the horse, it's making me think of like, you are focusing on what matters to you. You're focusing on what you want to do for yourself, which is maybe some exercise. Maybe you've been like exercising, or like just like taking care of your body, your mind, body, and soul. And it's really paying off. People have noticed that it's really had got you to move very quickly towards your goals. It's like the recipe, the original recipe of like, you have like a recipe of getting shit done. And the recipe is starting the day off with a good routine, such as like, meditating, um, and working on your body, your spirit, your mind, body, and soul. And that's what people have like noticed about you. I think also we have it says when in balance runs away and feels weak. So um pile 3, people may notice that maybe when things get a little bit hard, you may struggle with wanting to run away, but people have noticed that you've been working really hard towards facing your fears or facing whatever challenge you've been doing, and like the way that you are getting over those hurdles and leaping like this beautiful, stallion over these hurdles is by having a really good routine, such as meditating. Meditation can be like your best friend, pile 3. And the physical exercise, getting that anger, getting that frustration out at the gym, or just running or cycling or whatever physical, activity that you may like, maybe also like, your best friend. So let's get into the messages here. We have 999, which is the number of the universe, and this is about manifesting your dreams. You are manifesting your dreams, pile 3, and this is how you're doing it. This is a sign from the universe that you're manifesting your dreams. You're working up that corporate ladder, or you're building up your finances. If you're not working a 9 to 5, this is saying you're working really hard towards that financial stability, and you're doing a great job, and it's happening it's unfolding in front of your eyes. We have, can you handle my lifestyle? People feel like they can't handle your lifestyle. People feel like you are such a hard worker that they're like, how the hell does pile 3 manage to do it all? Or if you're not a hard worker, people are like, if you're kind of like more, like you could be someone who's very balanced between, being very in your feminine and kind of like, I let it attract me versus I chase after it and I work really hard towards it. You have a great balance. And I think with this, can you handle my lifestyle, is more of like when people look at you, people see that you work really hard, and people are like, oh my God, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. Or people also are like, you are so comfortable with being uncomfortable that you could literally conquer anything. And people are like, how the hell is pile 3 able to do that? Like people like might compare themselves a bit. You could be very, you may receive a lot of compliments. People may constantly compliment you. I think also you could be somebody that likes to compliment others, and people really feel so like tender, and people feel so loved when you compliment them. You could have like maybe words of affirmation. You're also so unconditional. Like you love so unconditionally. People feel so loved by being your friend. People feel so loved by being your partner, your family member, your significant other, whoever it is. People love to be loved by you. You could be very empathetic. You have a strong sense of empathy. You're super loyal. Horses are been known to be like one of the most loyal creatures. So you're super loyal. People find your intelligence to be so sexy. People feel like you belong to them, or they want like you to belong to them. We have people are obsessed with your body. We have, as your heart heals, you will receive new love. So you could be receiving new love. If some of you are single, you may be receiving new love soon. There could be city life. You could be in the city life. You could be facing some highs and lows, and you're not letting any of that stop you. We have, your feelings are valid. You're so enticing. And there could be someone that wants to leave you hickeys. You could also be overcoming a lot of like overwhelm. Like you could be really like so balanced with resting. Resting is your best friend. It is okay to not do anything and just to lay down and rot, Like sometimes we just need to like lay down and relax. And you are so good at taking care of yourself, pile 3. When you take care of yourself, people see the way that you take care of your body, and people are like, okay, this is what she's expecting to be, how to be taken care of. So this is how I will treat her. You know what I mean? Like, by the way you reflect to others, like how you treat yourself is like, wow, like, okay, pile three. Some people may say like high maintenance, but that's because they don't know how to do anything and they're just being stupid. But people may feel like you are always respected, always like you're like a queen, literally. So people are like, you can't do anything or expect anything from pile three unless you come with like something of your own. Unless you come from like people feel like they need to offer more to like be with you. You know what I mean? Because they see you at this as this queen. So take that how it resonates, but that's what I'm getting. Let's get your Pinterest board now. So this is the first image that I got. It's giving like really dreamy, cute. Like it's really giving me sweet little bubbly personality. You could be really bubbly, and people may love to hear your laugh. You could have a really cute laugh. People could find you to be like a. I was also kind of getting like model, low key, like model vibes. You're super feminine, especially with all these flowers around. People could love your femininity. You could look so feminine. You could dress so feminine. Um, yeah, very beautiful, beautiful like a flower. And you may rest a lot. You may take really good care of yourself. We also have There Is a World Inside of Me. So this popped up. It definitely caught my eye and I was curious about it. I think there could be some sort of like um, perception on the world that you may be perceiving that wanted to be discussed. So I think the thing is, one of the things that came up was hell is empty and it says all the demons are in my head. So there could be something about like maybe some shadow work that needs to be done. A great book that could be beneficial is the shadow work journal that you could buy off of TikTok. That thing is really good. It asks you a bunch of shadow work questions. It's like basically just dealing with your trauma. It says everything will kill you, so choose something fun. I think a big message could be that people feel like even though you could be someone that likes to take risks, or maybe you're stepping into taking more of a risk when it comes to your hobbies or your career. I'm also kind of getting though another side to you. For some of you guys could be really stable and you're not really like to take risks at all. Really like to be structured and like you may move more on the slower side, but with the horse is more of like a fast moving, like a lot of movement. The horse is like a runner. So there's something about maybe you're stepping into this new era of change to where you realize that, you know, if you think about it, every possible thing, if you worry about everything, yeah, obviously, like for example, with eating, right? There's so many articles being like, oh, this causes you cancer, this causes you cancer, this causes you cancer. It's like if I worried about that, I wouldn't eat anything throughout the day because there's so much crap about, oh, the little percent chance of this may be causing me cancer. If I worried so much about all the different possible outcomes and had anxiety about the future, I wouldn't be able to live. So I'm done trying to survive and just focusing on survival. I'm going to live my life. Even if, you know, it happens to, you know, lead me to the, um, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, even if it kills me, like, even if, you know, it's, I don't really want to say it that way because it's not really like, it's written like this in this image, but we are going to die anyways, so might as well do something that makes you happy. That's how we thrive. That's how we actually live life. So we have creativity heals the broken. And then we have this. This was all these images that popped up. I really like this one with the little kitty. And this one says soulmate. People could feel like you go to the gym, maybe drink some energy drinks. People feel like you maybe, people may like the TV shows you like to watch or may feel connected to you with like the shows you watch. Or there could be something about maybe people feel like you're like a movie or your life is like a movie or people would want to like watch you. We got desire here. People may really like to or like desire you. Um, it's also giving like you see this like white and black. There could be a lot of black and white thinking. Um, or maybe you've been doing a lot of shadow work. But other than that, though, the way that people see you is like you are something or someone very desirable. There could be someone in particular that really just wants to give you like the biggest hug. I think another thing is people assume, because we got that in the original, that you are a great hugger. You may give really great hugs. People may love to hug you. And like feel your like heartbeat and like just your warmth of your body on them. Like you really give some really nice tender hugs. And another thing I was getting is like people assume that you would be like a model, or for some of you maybe same-sex lovers, but I'm really getting like model somebody who could model for like a magazine, Vogue magazine, and maybe even like in the city of like New York or something, or just like in the city, in like California or something, and um, look at the little like bat in the back with the ghost. That's cute. People feel like you would like runway on the streets of New York and or of like California and get like a casting call to be like, oh, like we need you to model. So people really feel like you could model pile 3. So that is what I have for you. Pile 3, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, consider subscribing, let me know how I did in the comments, and I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye!